So, Ephesians 6, 1 through 3. Remember, this is Paul speaking, the apostle unto the Gentiles. Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honour thy father and mother, which is the first commandment with promise, that it may be well with thee, and thou mayest live long on the earth. So there Paul's telling parents to teach their children the fifth commandment, which is parents to teach your children all 10 commandments. Remember, Paul, the apostle of the Gentiles. Deuteronomy 6, 1 through 7. Now these are the commandments, the statutes, and the judgments which Jehovah your God commanded to teach you, that ye might do them, in the land whither ye go to possess it, that thou mightest fear the Lord thy God. Definition of fearing God is keeping his commandments. To keep all his statutes and his commandments which I command thee, thou and thy son and thy son's son, all the days of thy life, and that thy days may be prolonged. Hear therefore, O Israel, and observe to do it, that it may be well with thee, and that thee may increase mightily, as Jehovah God of thy fathers hath promised thee, in the land that floweth with milk and honey. Hear, O Israel, Jehovah our God is one Lord. And thou shalt love Jehovah thy God with all thine heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might. Fearing God means to keep the 10 commandments. Loving God means to keep the 10 commandments. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. And now on to Matthew 15, 1 through 9, which was quite a cool discovery on the Sabbath, when we were comparing the Pharisees and the Christian church, because the Christian church do everything the Pharisees did, but they just put their own little presumptuous twist on it. Then came to Yeshua scribes and Pharisees, which were of Jerusalem, saying, Why do thy disciples transgress the tradition of the elders? For they wash not their hands when they eat bread. But he answered and said unto them, Why do ye also transgress the commandment of your God by your tradition? For God commanded, saying, Honour thy father and mother. He that curseth father or mother, let him die the death. But ye say, Whosoever shall say to his father or his mother, It is a gift, by whatsoever thou mightest be profited by me, and honour not his father or mother, he shall be free. So here the gift means sacrifice. That's what the Pharisees were saying. But the Christian church say we don't have to keep the 10 commandments. We do not have to teach our children the 10 commandments, even though Paul and the Messiah commanded you to, because of the gift of the blood of the Lamb. All that nonsense. You're saved by his blood, but you live in his life. If you choose to enter into life, keep the commandments. Thus have ye made the commandment of God of none effect by your tradition, exactly as the Christian church do. Your traditions of lawlessness. Ye hypocrites! Well did Isaiah prophesy of you, saying, This people draweth nigh unto me with their mouth, and honoureth me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. But in vain they do worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men. You Christians are Pharisees. You call my brothers and sisters and myself Pharisees for teaching and keeping the 10 commandments as we're commanded to by the Messiah, by Paul, by Peter, by the prophets, by everyone. And yet you are the Pharisees. If you don't keep and teach the 10 commandments, you'll be called least in the kingdom of heaven, which is hell. And to honour thy mother and father is to teach your children the 10 commandments. Paul, the apostle of the Gentiles, told you this.